Alright guys, so quick video that I wanted to make sure I could make before I got out of here for the summer is I wanted to make a video about like why am I not getting sound, because this is super common. Obviously this is like the biggest troubleshooting issue you could face as a sound engineer. I'm not hearing sound. That's a problem. So what you're going to want to do is I actually made a flowchart which I'll probably make into a document and upload somewhere that everybody can use it. So I made a flowchart for why you might not be getting sound. So we're going to go through this step by step. So I wrote it down, but you're probably not going to be able to see it super well. It's also not super neat right now, so that's why I'm going to make it into a actual document, upload it so you can use it. So I'm just going to read through this. So if you are not hearing any sound, for example, let's just use like the video channel, for example. No, sorry, let's use a mic, singing mic, for example. Okay, if you're not hearing any sound, the first question you're going to ask yourself is if you see signal. This is the most important. This is like checking for a pulse. If you see a signal from that channel, it's like it has a pulse. No signal, no pulse, basically is the idea. So if you do see a signal, here's what you're going to do. You see signal, is the channel on? That is your question. If the channel is not on, turn it on. If it is on, you see signal, you're still not hearing anything, obviously make sure the fader's up. That's a big question. Yeah, make sure the fader is turned up. Obviously, you probably know that, but if the fader's not turned up, turn it up. That should solve your issues. If the channel's on, the fader's turned up, you see signal, all that, you still don't hear anything, check the mains. Check the monitors and make sure the monitors are turned up. That's most likely where your problem is. If all that is checked off and you still do not hear sound, then it's probably an issue with the hardware, an issue with a cable or connection somewhere. That's most likely what the problem is, and that may just come down to checking individual cables until you can get sound back to where it is. So, all right, now to the more complicated side. You don't see signal. You have no pulse. Okay, if you don't see a signal, first thing to check is the pack or the mic on? So the wireless pack that you're using, is the mic on, is the instrument on, is the pack on? Okay, if it's not, turn it on. You should start to see signal after that if there's fresh batteries in it and everything. Okay, if the pack or mic is on and you do not see any signal, we actually had this problem here, and I was here in Polson a couple weeks ago and we had this issue, and it took me a few minutes to figure it out. So if the pack or the mic is on and you do not see signal, make sure the gain is up. So if the gain is not up, turn it up. That should solve your problem. It solved our problem here. If the pack or mic is on, the gain is up, and you do not have signal, you're not getting any signal, check the cables and connections, because that's an issue. So if everything is set on that side, if everything's set on the side of the board, then there's an issue somewhere in between in communication. So there's an issue with one of the cables. So these are going to be the most common issues of why you're not getting sound. So just to run through those again, make sure the channel's on, make sure the fader's up, make sure the mains are up and turned on, make sure that the pack or the mic is on, the gain is up on the pack or the mic that you're using or the instrument that you're using. And if none of that is working, then it's probably an issue in hardware, it's probably an issue in cabling and connection somewhere along the way. So check all those things out. If you're having any kind of an issue with sound on any of those channels, this applies to anything on the board, you can use this, and I'll try to make this flowchart into an actual document so it's something you can look at. So.